So the third big move we have to make, how many of you were excited about GDP when you woke up this morning? How many of you were like, I'm going to make a big contribution today, I can feel it? So GDP is going up and up. Meanwhile, more and more Americans are getting left behind. How many of you knew that our life expectancy has declined for the last 3 years? Yeah, and why is that? Suicides and drug overdoses have both overtaken vehicle deaths as leading cause of death for the first time in American history. Do you all want to know the last time our life expectancy declined for 3 years in a row? The Spanish flu of 1918. That man's definitely a Yang gangster. Yeah, it's the Spanish flu. So what good is celebrating record high GDP when our people are dying younger? And right now, my wife is at home with our 2 boys, one of whom is autistic. What does her work get calculated at in GDP?
0.
What is the market value her work at?
0.
And we all know that's nonsense. We know that the work she's doing is more challenging and important and vital for our future than a lot of the other work that's going on. And this is one thing that the freedom dividend will do, and it does not balance the scales. But right now, there are millions of American women who are in exploitative or abusive jobs or relationships because they lack the economic means to improve their situations, and $1,000 a month would make a tremendous difference. Yeah. Now, the Democratic Party talks all the time about empowering women. And I'm going to suggest that nothing would empower women more directly and effectively than putting $1,000 a month into their hands. We can either talk about empowering women or we can do something about it. And I say we do something about it. So if GDP is not a measurement that we're excited about, what would get you all excited? What would you like if, hey, if that improved, that would actually make you say, wow, things are getting better?
Median income.
Andrew Yang in the White House, I appreciate that, thank you. So mental health and freedom from substance abuse.
Education.
Education and childhood success. Our own health and life expectancy. Yes, homelessness and everyone having a roof over their head. How clean our air and water are. So these are measurements that would actually get you excited. And this is what we can use to measure our progress moving forward. We made up GDP almost 100 years ago. And even the inventor of GDP said 3 things. He said, number 1, this is a terrible measurement for national well-being and we should never use it as that. Number 2, we should include parenthood and motherhood because it's so important. And number 3, we should not include military defense spending because it has no economic value. So of course we ignored all 3 of those things, and now we're riding GDP off a cliff because things like self-driving trucks and AI are going to be great for GDP, but they're going to leave more and more Americans behind. Now here's a great thing, Seattle. This is not that hard to fix. After you get me into the White House, all I have to do... USA! 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 Are you chanting USA or US Yang? I couldn't even tell. Either one. When you were saying USA and I cupped my ear, I got like Hulk Hogan flashbacks, the 80s. So this is not that hard to fix. After I'm president, all I have to do is go down the street to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics and say, hey, GDP, really old, really out of date. How about we update it with these other measurements that people would be much more excited about, and then I will present them all to you every year at the State of the Union. I'm going to be the first president to use PowerPoint in the State of the Union. How do you feel about that? Yeah, break out the PowerPoint chant. No, don't do it. Yes, this is the nerdiest presidential campaign in history. We did it, Seattle. We weren't quite there until that moment, but then you just did it.